no. I'm like, the boss is gonna kill me. I'm like, he's gonna have my buffers if I don't get there.
Oh my goodness, late again? He has to start getting here on time.
Boss, I'm sorry. I was late, sir. I'm sorry. I do confess. I won't let it happen again, sir. I'm sorry. It was all my fault. I know. It is all my fault. I'm sorry, sir.
Jack, you're gonna have to stop being late, or the boss is gonna put you on the silence for punishment. Please be on time, for God's sake. Please.
Well, it was not my fault. It was them switcher trains' faults. They were being slow.
Both of you. Jack, be late one more time, and you will be spending the night all day in the sheds.
Well, I'm sorry, sir. It was not my fault. It was them switcher trains' fault. They were playing tricks on me, and they made me late. That's why I came here late. I'm sorry. But no, you just don't want to accept my apology, do you now? Of course not. No, you don't. You just want to put me on the silence for punishment like you always do.
No, I do not. Stop back-talking me and go get your rolling stock containers. Right away, immediately.
Yes, sir. I will do what you told me to do. God, I want to leave this place, but I can't.
I wish Jack would stop coughing attitude with me. I about had enough of his nonsense. Back talks me again. Off the sheds he goes.
I look at the clock, it's 3:45. It's been a long day, I can't take any more. I gotta get away, head down the track with a full head of steam and no looking back. I hear the pistons pounding out the beat. I feel the rhythm underneath my feet, and I dream. Oh yeah, I dream. I dream of the legends of the rails. Of the legends of the rails. I've got a temperature of 103. I've got train fever, and the one remedy is a steamer.
It was a cool morning on Summer Lake Pass Railway. Stacy was pulling her morning passenger coaches to the station, to the big station, where she can pick up her passengers. Jacob, the big Union Pacific 4014, was pulling a heavy load of boxcars to take them down to the dockyards. And he had to make up lost time because he was late. On this railway, there is one important rule. Don't be late, be on time. Rio and Jonathan are always never late. They always pull the trains on time and get there early. Rio was pulling a big, long passenger train, and Jonathan was pulling a container rolling stock train, where he can go get containers. But at last, the engines worked very hard on this railway and wanted to be really useful too, and good working. One afternoon, the engines and all were getting ready. Jacob was talking about how is it important to be on time.
I remember one time when I was late, it was because I was pulling those boxcars. They were giving me trouble and all that. Man, they're worse than them troublesome coal hoppers like Rio pulled. Ain't that right, Rio?
I mean, you ain't wrong. Like one time, when I was pulling them to the coal mines, let my brother shunt them to the coal mines, they were giving me a hard time. They almost made me want to leave them stranded in the middle of the railroad tracks. But the boss would have had a field day with me if I'd done that. So I just went on my way and delivered them to the coal mining facility. My brother shunted them to the coal hopping filler, and they did not like it one bit.
You ain't wrong. I taught them troublesome coal hoppers a lesson they'll never forget, and now they're scared of me if they ever get troublesome.
But those radios work, don't you think? I think it's nice. What about you?
Well, I gotta go. I can't be late. I gotta couple to my boxcars and head on. Deliver goods and stuff to supermarkets and stuff. They need their supplies, don't you think?
Jacob was chuffing to the turntable so he can get coupled in the front of the boxcars and pull them so he can deliver all the goods to supermarkets and stores. As so, he was going to get switched to a different line because the boxcars were switched to a different line on the right. And so, he went to the switch yard and switched to the line. But while he was doing it, in the front siding shed, there was 2 diesels in there. There was one being a smart aleck to him, and he did not take kindly.
Hey, Jacob, don't be late again.
I'll have you notice that I've never run late once. Well, a few times, but not a lot. You keep on laughing while you're in your sheds. Dirty diesels.
Jacob was backing up and getting coupled in front of the boxcars, where he can pull them and deliver them to supermarkets and stores and all that kind of good stuff. While he was backing down, he gave him a good bump, coupled, and he was ready to go. He was heading off, and he had let out blasts of his whistle. During that time, you have to let out blasts to let others know that you're going down the track, so there won't be accidents on the One of the 2 diesels went to the coal mine filling place or coal mining facility to go shunt hoppers. They regretted deeply because those troublesome hoppers are very troublesome. Each muttered to themselves while they're going. They were going slowly at the train yards because when they get to the rails, the main railroad, they pick up speed. To get there on time, one by one. A big diesel came. His name was Jack. Jack was a really nice diesel. He's forgetful sometimes and always runs late, but he's a really useful diesel. His number plate is 8654. The steamies took one good look at him while he was passing by to the sheds to meet the other steam engines, but they judged him too quickly. But they assumed he was a nice diesel. Diesels pull anything, passenger cars, boxcars, and rolling stock containers, and this one was the right one for the rolling stock containers. That's a big brute, ain't it, soldier? I mean, this is what we need for the railway.
Yeah, he'll do just fine for those rolling stock containers, and maybe he can teach those troublesome coal hoppers a lesson they'll never forget like I did. Remember one time that I shunted them into the coal hopper filling facility.
Well, soldier, those troublesome coal hoppers deserve it. Jack made his way to the turntable. In the cab with him was the railroad manager. Before Jack introduced himself, the railroad manager got out of the cab and walked up to the engines that are all in the engine house, or the turntable house, or whatever you call it.
Engines, meet Jack. Jack will be working with us.
here on the Summer Lake Pass Railway. Y'all make him feel at home. Now, Jack, when you get done talking to these Indians, I want you to go couple up in front of the container rolling stocks. You understand? Yes, sir. Alright, Indians. Now, behave and make him feel at home. Don't be rude to him, please. He's a nice diesel.
After the meeting was over, the railroad manager walked off. Now Jack is now talking to the engines and getting to know them.
So how strong are you there, bud? We never had a big diesel like you before, and now you're just right. I pull like 50 boxcars per day. That's how strong I am. I used to do that when I was in Texas before y'all's railroad manager purchased me.
50 boxcars. Well, ain't that something? Well, I bet you can't pull 50 rolling stock containers, can you?
That strong when it's ever loaded on containers. I have to pull about 15 of them. Besides, I can pull those rolling stock containers.
Can you pull troublesome hoppers? Those are the real deal. Those are hard work. They'll get you pretty aggravated.
Yeah, I can pull troublesome hoppers. They're scared of me. Well, I can't talk much. I gotta go ahead and get coupled up in front of the rolling stock containers.
Jack got coupled up in front of the cars, or the rolling stock container cars, as you call them. Jack didn't waste no time. He gave 2 blasts of the horn, and then off he went, making good progress. His bell was ringing, and he was rolling along very smoothly. But actually, what he said was true. He did pull 50 boxcars in Texas when he was in Texas. Let's go back a little. In 1989, he was the strongest diesel in Texas that can pull 50 boxcars. He held a world record for it. It was very tough for him, but it took everything for him to pull all those boxcars. It took a mighty heave and a mighty hoe. He was the strongest diesel of them all. He can outpull every one of the diesels, including the diesel streamliners as well. In fact, some of them called him a scrap iron because he was being a show-off. But he was doing his job, trying to help this railway to keep it going again. But now, times are changing. He's still being used at the Summer Lake Pass Railway. Well, one day, Jacob was thundering down the line, pulling freight cars behind him. A big load of freight cars. He was talking to himself about hearing about this new diesel that's new here in Summer Lake Pass Railway.
You know, I wondered about this diesel. This diesel's a really nice diesel because I keep on hearing about it on my radio. I'll meet him tonight.
As always, Jack was thundering down the line with those rolling stock container cars, making great progress. It was nighttime. Clayton was shutting the freight cars into the sidings. The work was done. It was time to get some rest and wake up for a new day. So, it was late at night. Jacob was tired, but he had to introduce himself to the new engine named Jack. Jacob chuffed into his shed.
Howdy there, partner. I don't know if you know me, and I don't know you. Listen, I'll introduce myself. My name's Jacob, and I'm the world's strongest steam locomotive. You must be Jack, the world's strongest diesel locomotive.
And I'm I'm not exactly the world's strongest, but you're a pretty big steam locomotive yourself, don't you know? And you must be famous around here and all over the United States.
I guess you're right there, partner. Well, you mind if I stay the night in your shed?
Not at all. You can sleep here any time you want. Good night.
Good night.
They said goodnight to each other, and they went to sleep. Except for one. Stacy has to get coupled in front of her coaches so she can pull the Midnight Express. Don't get her wrong, she likes pulling the Midnight Express. She likes thundering down the line at night, smoke throwing shadows across the air, and her long whistle cutting through the night. Don't you think? Oh, you're here. Well, all I have to say is thank you for watching this video, and these videos are kid friendly, and sometimes Dorkin will watch these videos too. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a nice day, and God bless you.